Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jakara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And I'm just going to go ahead and open the space right now to ask Archangel Michael to shield and protect the space, Archangel Raphael to download codes of healing and support, and Archangel Metatron to help us activate our truth and our spiritual understanding. I want to call upon the higher self of each one of the souls that are watching this video. And I want to ask Spirit to keep me in alignment with my truth, my soul's truth. I want to ask Spirit to connect each one of the souls that are connecting to this video, to connect them with their truth so that they can receive what resonates for them and be able to apply it in their daily lives. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so today I want to talk about a topic that I kind of touched on it a little bit ago. I was talking about the need to be perfect and that perfectionism that shows up as we show up in our path, and especially when we're in the spiritual path, we start connecting to these elements. And this video is really being ignited and inspired by a conversation that I had over the weekend with a loved one that was pointing out certain things that they have been pointed out before by other people. And then I had another conversation with some practitioners yesterday, actually the day before yesterday, that were related to this same topic. So it feels like this is an ongoing topic that is showing up in people's minds that people are wondering about. And this is about the need to look and present ourselves as spiritual, especially when we are in a position of wanting to share our spirituality with others, wanting to help others in their path, or wanting to really be in that space of maybe guiding others or embodying that healer that we all have an expression of within ourselves, within our souls. So long story short, I had this conversation with my family member, and my family member was telling me how, there's this perception of, how the world works and how we are guided to really try to act and present ourselves a certain way. So, when we look at TV, we have a specific look. We have makeup on women. We have a specific look that women have, a specific look that men have. There's kind of like a standard, right? That is really followed in the media. The unique essence of what I love in this realm of YouTube is that we get to be our authentic selves. However, it's important to be very careful whenever we are presenting ourselves in front of others. This is an act of bravery for anyone to really be in front of a camera and post a video for others to see and for others to follow. And we have to be very mindful in regards to this and be very honest in regards to, how authentic we are in front of our audience. And I was kind of having this conversation with my loved one because they were under the impression that, I have to present myself in a certain way. And, funny enough, I had another loved one prior to this conversation about 2 years ago talk about the same topic. And the topic was really directed towards my weight and, my size. Okay. So I'm a size 16, I'm 5 feet tall. I'm a little bit over 200 pounds. I am definitely curvy. Like I have a lot of meat in my bones and I do carry a lot of fat. And I've been through a journey of of really learning how to love my body. I really did have a really difficult journey growing up because of the media and how I was, bombarded, by the magazines. Back in the 90s, we would have the magazines and we would have, the TV shows, and we would have all of these different, the actors and actresses. We look at outside of ourselves and we're thinking, well, I don't look like these people. There must be something wrong with me. So I followed a very I want to say, a very precarious path of yo-yo dieting and all this stuff. So there's been a journey of self-healing for me in regards to my body. And now that I'm at the biggest, this was my biggest fear. My biggest fear was to be a fat woman. And here I am, right? And, embodying the fat woman that I always feared. So kind of like, to bring this back to the spiritual aspect of this, and the learning experience of this for me is, really being in that embodiment of that biggest fear that that I had my entire life growing up, and then learning how to love myself in this state, and then not only doing that, but also repairing that relationship with food, and repairing all of these different things. So this is, this is a journey of mine that has been, that has been basically my entire life. But would I stop doing what I'm doing and stop posting videos and stop posting what I've learned in my journey of healing, and stop, practicing spiritual response therapy and hold space for others because I am a bigger girl and I don't, for whatever reason, I am not worthy, or I'm not deserving of being someone that can potentially be healing and helping others? I think that that's where I kind of have to disagree. And the reason why is because, when we look outside of ourselves, when we first start our journey, of course, we, in the egoic perspective, we want to see someone that looks the part, right? That looks the part. There's like a look to them. However, I want to invite you to really think about this for a minute. Why are we looking for a specific a specific thing? Of course, it doesn't matter the way we look, regardless of how we look. We can be really small, really big, medium size, whatever that looks like, however we would decide to dress as well, which is kind of funny because as I was having this conversation with some practitioners, they're they were mentioning, these are retired practitioners who, people who are retired, who right now are, taking the path of practitioner, and specific in shamanic practitioners, excuse me. And the funny thing about it is that they were talking about how people in their family were like, well, you don't look the part, you don't look like a shamanic practitioner, you just dress normal. And so it's kind of interesting. This is not only on one perspective, right? Like, people are going to look at us, right? And when we embody, who we are, and we start aligning ourselves with who we are, then people are going to start questioning, well, you don't look it, you don't, you're not necessarily perfect, you haven't reached the ultimate state of perfection. And to that, I'm going to say, where does that end? Where does that perfection really end? Because at the end of the day, regardless of how we look, like, regardless of how we dress, regardless of how we're acting, right, there's always going to be something else that we need to work on within ourselves. For people who are out here on YouTube, sharing their knowledge, sharing, the information that they've learned in their path, in their journey, this is their truth, right? This is their truth, their path, and they're just basically sharing this with you, right? And it's really up to us to receive the message beyond the packaging, right? And to feel into our hearts, because that's really what it's about. And it's funny because that's one of the conversation that I was having with my fellow practitioners. She was saying how, the reality is that a healer, it's really not about, it's not about how they look or how they're perceived, but really how you feel, around them. How do they make you feel when you're around them? Do you leave the presence of that person feeling better? And that's really what it's about. It's the energetic quality of people, right? There's an energetic quality that cannot be necessarily embodied on a physical matter. Yes, there's many ways that we can embody, but we got to remember that we're all in a very specific journey. And if we try to put everyone in one specific box, then we are doing ourselves and that person a disservice, because then we're no longer honoring their sacred journey, their sacred path, which is very unique to them, right? And your path is very unique to you. So, so if you're someone right now who is feeling like you don't look the part, like you don't sound the part, or that you don't, dress the part, or whatever that is in your life. It doesn't have to just apply into spirituality, but anything else in your life, right? If you're feeling this, I want to really invite you to really look within and say, is this really what spirit wants me to do? Does spirit want me to act? Or does spirit want me to embody? And embodiment is a different story. Now, of course, there are going to be opportunities that we're going to try to align ourselves even more, and then we're going to take actions that are going to be improving our health, improving our well-being, and all these different things. And that doesn't necessarily have to be, an aspect that makes you more spiritual or better in your journey. It's just an aspect of your journey, and that's it. And then when we start attaching these, oh, this is better or this is worse, especially even in the spiritual community, I do not subscribe to the idea of having to follow one diet only or one way only. I don't really subscribe to that. I've subscribed to whatever is aligned with you, whatever feels aligned with you. And whatever feels aligned with you doesn't have to be what the other person next to you has to follow. And remembering that that person is going to follow whatever it is that it's for their path, and honoring that sacred journey that they have. And I know it's difficult because for us it's very easy to get outside of ourselves and focus outward, especially when when we're operating from the egoic place. We all do it. I do it too, right? Everyone does it. But it's always remembering to go back and say, hey, let me go back within. Like, where is this coming from? Applying that curiosity in our lives. And I think this is a very important subject matter at this moment, especially at this pivotal point, as so many people are waking up, so many people are seeking the support. And there's so much noise out there that can potentially confuse our hearts, because we have a specific path that we're taking. Our hearts are really the ones are going to really guide us in this journey. So then when we stop following our hearts and we start just seeking that approval outside of us, and we start then judging, because to me that's a judgment, right? That when we're saying, oh well, this person doesn't look the part, then I'm just gonna judge, right? But are we forgetting the essence of what they are representing in our lives? Or are we understanding the energetic benefits that they're bringing into our lives, right? So, and going beyond that, I also want to remind you that at the end of the day, you have the complete let's just say ability to really decide how you're going to live your path. And it's important to respect that for other people. So and I feel like I may be rambling right now, but I just kind of wanted to mention, for those of you who feel the need to kind of like judge, right? Like that judgment outside of you. Like, okay, well, is this person is that, this person is this, going back to yourself and saying, okay, why is this person triggering me, right? What is it within myself that is making me uncomfortable about this person? That's the best question that you can ask. Why? Because then you can go back to self and recognize within yourself, what is it that is triggering within you? Is it because there's a part of you that feels unworthy? Is there a part of you that has a fear of being seen? Is there a part of you that has a fear of being authentic? Is there a part of you that feels like that you're not being fully authentic, and seeing that authenticity pulling through the other person makes you feel uncomfortable because you're not in alignment with your authenticity, right? So recognizing these things and saying, you know what, then let me go ahead and what steps, once we recognize what is it that that is triggering, what steps can I take to move into that authentic expression of who I am? And then as I move through this process, then I'll be able to feel more aligned with myself, and then will not feel the need to try to project things within myself that are basically being reflected upon the interaction with the other person, right? So so just that invitation is really to recognize that you're not here to be perfect, you're not here to look spiritual, to sound spiritual. Everything that you do is spiritual, from sleeping to eating to going to the bathroom. Everything is spiritual because you are a spiritual being embodied in this beautiful body of yours. So everything, every expression of who you are is spiritual, whether you're skinny, whether you're fat, whether you're tall, whether you're short, whether you're wearing an amazing gown or you're just wearing sweatpants. All of those expressions are spiritual, and it's okay. There's not one path to take. And that's the important thing that we have to remember. Just remember the mistake that we've done, that we've made throughout centuries with giving ourselves boxes with religion and the religious belief of having to follow a specific, a way of life. And just trying to fit ourselves into that space over and over again. Remember, right now we're breaking away from all of this and we're finally aligning with our truth, with our path. That's how we push this beautiful or move forward this beautiful earth into a place of healing and a place of alchemy at a rapid level, because we're still gonna continue to come here. The souls that decide to continue to come here, we're still gonna continue coming here to alchemize everything that needs to be alchemized. But as we move through this journey, the alchemy will become a lot faster. It won't be as dense as it has been throughout these past years. Why? Because we are moving through that pathway a lot faster. Some of the messages that I've been receiving from Spirit is that the more we heal ourselves, the more we do the clearing work, the more we look into our karmic, patterns and heal and go into the Akashic records, doing the spiritual response healings or past life regression or any other sort of karmic clearing. That all of that is really helping the universe and is helping us move forward, propelling the entire human race forward, the entire planet really forward. And so again, knowing about your relationship with the other person, maybe that is projecting onto you, knowing what is the karmic situation that is happening there as well, right? Maybe that person had a lifetime with you and you were on the other side, kind of like the actor on the other side, projecting onto them. So then they're coming on this lifetime and projecting onto you so that you can see how it feels on the other side, on the other end of things too, because that's another aspect that we want to consider as well when it comes down to our interactions with others. So there's so many aspects that we can be looking at. And one thing that I wanted to also share here is that, listen, I am not here to be your guru. I am not here to tell you that I'm living a perfect life, to tell you that everything is beautiful and dandy. No, I also have my human experience. I also get angry. I also, yell at my husband, and I also, get sad and I cry, and I also need to disconnect sometimes and heal and process my emotions. I also have family problems, and and that's just part of the journey here on this planet. The difference is, how quickly do we bounce back? One thing that I can tell you is I bounce back from these heavy emotions a lot faster than I used to. And that's when I can tell you, hey, you know what? I've done some work and that work has been paying off. Right? And recognizing that, hey, when all the triggers come up again, or there's other triggers that come up, I'm like, oh, okay, I know exactly what's happening. And I can go back and reflect upon that. That's when you know that you're healing. So, remembering that this channel, that's another thing that I told my loved one over the weekend. I said, I called my business, I specifically called my business and my YouTube channel, The Blooming Lotus Healing. Just think about what that means. The blooming. what it means to be blooming. I'm still blooming, and I'm a lotus flower. So I'm coming from the mud, to shine my beautiful light, to share my beautiful fragrance, right? And then healing, right? So the blooming lotus healing, what that means is that I am here also in the journey walking home and inviting you to walk home with me. That is what this channel is about. That is what my work is about. So if you ever felt in any shape or form that I was trying to present myself in any shape or form as this perfect guru that has everything figured out, well, let me tell you, this is not the channel for that. Okay. This is a channel to really talk about the things that really matter, to share the things that are helping me, to try to share the in the best way possible, the things that are going to uplift you, the things that are going to help you, and the things that I know have helped me that I feel could potentially help you as well. And that is my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to continue to be the human that I am, and continue to experience my humanness, and at the same time, walk alongside this path with you. And I feel that's the reality for a lot of people out there. So if you're following someone, on YouTube, or someone else, a speaker or someone, there's obviously qualities that you see in those people that you feel you want to embody yourself, or that you want to take upon yourself, or you want to try to emulate yourself. And that's a beautiful thing. However, my invitation is to really go back within yourself, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are your best medicine. You are your best medicine. All of what you need is inside of you. And so this is actually a perfect time for me to share with you that I am going to be launching a class, a 5-week program, where I'm going to be teaching you how to connect to your intuition through the pendulum. And I'm going to teach you how to find out your soul relationship with your loved ones. So we have a specific type of relationship, right? That is different here on earth. There's another expression at the soul level that can look a little different. So the idea is to teach you how to find out this information, and so that you can find a higher perspective in regards to your relationships, especially the ones that sometimes can be a little tougher. And sometimes we need to heal some of that stuff between us and our loved ones, and and the challenges, and the ones that we have challenges with. So I want to invite you to really come and participate on this class. This is going to be all about you connecting to your inner guidance, and to feel empowered, and to finding the information about your soul in your Akashic records for yourself. This is all about empowering you to start really focusing on finding the answers within yourself, because at the end of the day, you have everything that you need inside, like I mentioned. And don't get me wrong, I understand that sometimes we need additional support, and we need to go outside of ourselves to get that support. There's nothing wrong with that. However, it's important to always remember that when we feel stronger, then we want to make sure that we go back within and start, assessing the truths that are coming our way through other people, and aligning them with our hearts, and making sure that everything is in alignment with our hearts always and forever. So I want to invite you to watch the videos I'm going to be leaving here in regards to the twin flames, and the twin flame path, and also soul relationships. I did a couple of lives, and I covered some information there, so you can watch those videos and see if you really are interested in connecting to this workshop. This is for everyone, so anyone can participate in this. And everyone has relationships. So if you're feeling the need to clear things between you and your loved ones, and you want to start feeling empowered into doing this yourself, then please don't hesitate to gravitate towards the soul relationships workshop, which I'm going to be leaving the description, leaving the link on the description below. If you like this video and you feel it's helped you and you feel like it helped someone that you love, then I want to invite you to not only like this video, but share with your loved ones. The more you help me in this channel, the more you help me share, anything from this channel, the more you can help me build this beautiful space so that we can reach more people and hopefully ignite more people into their healing journey. So thank you so much and namaste.